Let me show you some of the first things that you can do on the Motorola Moto G87 right after the initial configuration. So once you are done with the initial setup, what you can do is, first of all, you can go to notifications, and over here you can probably find this notification over here, finish setting up your device. Now, it's not really necessary to go through this menu over here, or this notification, or whatever, simply because this notification over here allows you to go through most of the options that you had during the initial configuration. So you can treat it as another chance to do something that you didn't do during the initial configuration. However, most of these things can still be done on your phone without that option. You can just, most of the time, just go to settings, and you can find a bunch of different settings that you can also do during the initial configuration. So, of course, it's up to you if you decide to do so. If you feel like something could have been done slightly differently during the initial configuration, then you can just check that notification out, and you can probably do some changes or include something or do something that you didn't do. Now, besides that, another thing that you can probably do straight away is sign into your Google account or Google accounts. So if you didn't sign into the Google account, into your Google account during the initial configuration, or if you have multiple accounts that you wish to use on your phone, then in settings you want to go to passwords, passkeys, and accounts over here, and then you should be able to find add account option. Then over here choose Google, and you should be able to sign into your Google account very easily. There we go. Of course, you can also create a completely new account if that's what you need. Now, besides that, another thing that you can do is you can go to security and privacy, and over here you can go to device unlock, and you have the option to set up the screen lock password or change the screen lock password. So if you didn't set up a screen lock password during the initial configuration, then you can do so over here. You can set up a pattern, pin code, or password. After that, you also have the option to set up face recognition and fingerprint sensor over here. And besides that, it is also recommended to go to the theft protection option over here, because you can, for example, enable theft detection lock, offline device lock. There is also the remote lock, and the Find Hub or Find My Device, which allows you to track your phone, which can be, of course, quite useful in case your phone is lost or stolen. Now, besides that, another thing that is quite important to do straight away is, of course, an update of the software. So in settings, you should be able to find system updates over here, and then you can tap on the check for updates in order to see if there's any new update waiting for you. Now, in my case, I have the latest version. If you do have an update, then most likely you will have the option to install it. So, of course, you can do so. You can start downloading and installing the update, and then in the meantime, we can do a bunch of other things. So after that, another thing that we can do is update apps. So to do so, of course, we need to have a Google account, because we need to go to the Play Store over here. And then once you open the Play Store, you want to tap on your Google account here in the upper right corner. And then you should be able to go to Manage Apps and Device. And over here, we can see if we have any updates available. You can just tap on Update All over here, or you can tap on the option itself in order to, for example, individually choose which apps should be updated. I'm gonna update everything at once, and then in the meantime we can just proceed with other stuff. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is display settings. So if we go to settings over here once again, then you should be able to go to display settings here. And of course, here you might want to make some small changes here and there. Like, for example, if you don't like the adaptive brightness, then you can just turn it off quite easily over here just by tapping on the switcher. You can also adjust the screen brightness level as well. Other than that, we have the dark theme, which can be easily enabled and disabled, or you can create a schedule for it. We also have the display refresh rate settings, which is set to smart and balanced by default, so it's of course good because you can use up to 120 Hz. And besides that, what else you might want to do is, for example, change the screen timeout. Now, by default, we use 1 minute, which I think it's actually too much. Usually, the best way or the best option that you can choose is either 30 seconds or 15 seconds. Most of the time, we don't need more than that. And of course, this allows you to save the battery a little bit. There is also the adaptive display, which is quite decent to use if you don't want your display to be put automatically to sleep if you keep looking at it. So if you want to, you can turn it on, of course, it's up to you. And in my case, I'm going to actually use 2 minutes because I need this for the sake of these videos. And besides that, You can also check out, for example, 3-finger screenshot to make sure that it is enabled. So if you wish to be able to use 3 fingers to take a screenshot, then of course you can turn it on quite easily. Now, besides that, it is also recommended to go to battery settings. And over here you can, for example, enable battery percentage, which is going to be always displayed now here in the upper right corner. You can also go to battery protection, and you can turn on battery protection. It is, of course, recommended to use battery protection. Of course, you can use smart schedule. If you actually have a schedule when you charge a phone, I mean, you have a pattern or something like that, you always start charging your phone at the same time. There's also the manual schedule, which allows you to set up the 80% limit. And if you go to settings over here, then you should be able to enable the limit just for specific hours over here. In my case, I'm going to keep it always. Now, if you don't like the 80% limit for the battery, then of course you might want to either use the specific hours option, or if you don't like this form of protection at all, then you can just turn this off. Other than that, we have adaptive battery over here, which should be enabled by default, but you can of course double check to make sure that it is. And unfortunately, there is no fast charging option that we can enable in here, so we can just exit these settings now. And furthermore, you probably want to also go to home and lock screen settings, which should be over here. There we go. And if you go to the control center over here, you should be able to change from the classic style, which looks like this, to the modern style, which allows you to separate notifications and the control center. So now if you swipe down on notifications, then over here it looks like this. As you can see now at the top, we don't have these shortcuts, but then you can swipe on the right side of the phone to open this control center, and as you can see, it looks refreshed. It's up to you which one you prefer, and you can choose whichever you just like the most. You can give it a try. Now, besides that, actually we're gonna go back to home and lock screen, but this time we're gonna go to lock screen option. And over here you can find live lock screen, which is a feature that allows you to change the wallpaper of the lock screen every time you open it. So if you like these changing wallpapers, then of course you can turn this option on. But if you don't like it, then you probably want to turn it off so that you can have just one wallpaper of your choice. Now, besides that, what we can also do is, let me actually go back. We can also go to gestures over here, and in the gestures, we should be able to find the system navigation. So here you can decide if you want to use the 3-button navigation or if you prefer to use gesture navigation. Other than that, for each of these options, we also have additional settings. So for example, for the 3-button navigation, we can change the button order. And for gesture navigation, we have, for example, swipe for assistant, gesture sensitivity, and the navigation bar. So be sure to check that out in case you want to change the system navigation style. Now, we're gonna go back to the main menu of settings again, and this time we want to go to system settings. And then here we should be able to find the performance option, where we can enable the smart app launch, which allows the phone to learn app usage patterns, so apps can be launched quickly. And also we have the RAM boost over here, which is enabled by default, and it is set to AI auto. And as you can see, in my case, it uses 12 gigabytes, but if you want to, you can increase it to 16 gigabytes. But of course, in order to actually be able to use it, you will have to restart your phone. So feel free to do so. And other than that, we can also go to the app drawer. And here in the app drawer, we can make small changes here and there. So if you tap on these 3 dots in the upper right corner, you can go to settings. And then you can, for example, go to the news feed and you can turn it off if you don't like it. Or you can make some customization over there. You can make some changes, I mean. And also if you go to apps over here and choose suggestions on app tray, you can turn off app suggestions. Also, there is a games folder and you can just turn it off in here as well, if you don't like it. And there we go. I think now the app drawer looks slightly better. But besides that, we also have bloatware, unfortunately, pre-installed on our phone. But thankfully, we can easily remove it. So whenever there is something that you don't like or you don't want to have on your phone, you can just press and hold your finger on that app and start moving it. You will be redirected to the home screen, and then above the home screen, we have this uninstall field. So we can just drop it over here and confirm that you want to do that. And there we go. I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to show you. These are all the major things that you should probably do on your phone. Now, in case I missed something that you think is crucial to do on a smartphone right after the initial configuration, then please let me know in the comments. And in case you need some specific guides for Motorola Moto G87, then be sure to check out my channel. Leave a like and subscribe.